What the fuck?
I heart Hellcats. That clip alone is proof enough that starting a clothing brand has done irreversible damage to the youth. I mean, you can't make this shit up, my nigga. I heart Hellcats? How did you even come up with that? You gotta really think, what is the thought process behind making a t-shirt that says I heart Hellcats? Do you know the stereotype that comes behind black people liking Hellcats? I bet you didn't consider that shit when you were putting it on a t-shirt, nigga. This clothing brand epidemic, pandemic, anoramic, whatever the fuck aramic needs to stop. It actually baffles me how many young men are out there starting a clothing brand in attempts to skyrocket their life and create a new lifestyle for themselves when they actually have no passion for clothing in the first place. Don't get me wrong, I'm all for young black men starting a business, changing their lives, creating generational wealth for themselves in a way that you actually care about, something that you leave a legacy behind. Clothes isn't that legacy for a lot of you niggas. It's one thing to like fashion and another thing to want to create fashion. There's a difference, and you need to realize you can just like fashion and be okay. You can still make money just liking fashion. I'm not gonna lie, this isn't even on. Those who are really into fashion understand that fashion is an art. I don't think that clicked for some of you people. Most of these clothing brands started with a vision or some kind of story to tell, some kind of narrative. I Heart Hellcats has no narrative. You know what you're doing with I Heart Hellcats? You're giving them ammunition. You're giving the white man ammunition. Black History Month just ended, my nigga, and you're dropping shirts with I Heart Hellcats. You're not helping our case, buddy. But let me chill on I Heart Hellcats because there are so many other clothing brands out there that are just copy paste. If you scroll through Instagram, you can see thousands of design page of pre-made designs that look identical to brands like Hellstar, Billionaire Studios, Supreme, whatever you want to name. There's a design that's already made that looks just like that brand. There's almost no creativity behind these brands anymore. There's no individuality. There's no story. There's no nothing. There's no passion. It's just for the bread. I think we should probably backtrack why a lot of young men started doing this for bread, because there has to be some reason, some person who put this idea into their head that starting a clothing brand could change their life. I think you know exactly who I'm talking about. This man right here has done irreversible damage to the youth. Now, let me start by saying this. I actually am a fan of Kawhi. Okay, I know, no, yeah, you're glazing, whatever, but you just gotta hear me out. He really is a pioneer for this industry, and you really have to applaud him for what he did. He actually paved the way for a lot of YouTubers, even myself. My vlog channel has a little bit of inspiration from his channel. I'll give him his props. But the problem is, he's an individual the same way you are. You can't copy his flow word for word, bar for bar, and expect to get the same results. Why should we shop from you? The problem with this generation is they're not realizing he started really early. Back then, starting a clothing brand, it was odd. No one really sees people starting a clothing brand as that first initial business venture. It was usually celebrities you would see out there making clothes, but this go around, you're seeing influencers making clothes, and to some people that was weird, especially like if someone you go to high school with and they're making clothes. Why would I? You're the fucking bum in my math class that's selling clothes. I can go buy Supreme and, you know, be like Blazendary and show out. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's established brands that people would rather shop from way back then. But he started and paved the way as the influencer who made their own brand and, you know, monetized that. But you gotta realize the times are different now. You are a clone. A lot of people can go to his channel and watch his journey from start to finish probably within the span of a day. Because they consume that content so fast, it's almost as if it happened overnight. When in reality, he's been doing this for years. Whether it's clothes or in general, it takes time to scale a business. Most businesses don't even profit until the first 3 years. You may start a business today and may not be able to take home a single cut until the first 3 to 5 years. Have you thought of that? When you were gonna start I Heart Hellcats, did you think that you were gonna take money away instantly? That shit is a cash grab. That's the problem. A lot of you are starting cash grab brands. You don't care about telling a story or inspiring a generation above or below you. You care about getting bread. There are so many other ways to make money in this world, bro. And I promise you, clothing brands aren't the only way to do it. You see these guys around this age, they probably just don't want to work a typical job, and that's okay. You can make money online without having to start a clothing brand. Getting a job is not a big deal. Get that job and monetize whatever business venture you actually want to do, and then quit the 9 to 5, 9 to 3, whatever the fuck. Maybe I'm just a hater, but I want to leave y'all with this to end the video. Imagine it. Your homeboy comes up to you and says, you know what, man, I'm tired of this. I want to change my life. I'm gonna start a business. You applaud him, tell him that he has your full support. And he tells you, I'm starting a clothing brand. Your heart is already pounding. And he shows you the design, your heart drops, asks you to repost the worst piece you've ever seen in your life. You know for a fact you're not reposting that trash ass shit. The only way we're gonna get them to stop is we gotta tell them it's ass, gang. Your clothing brand is ass, my nigga. Do not sell that shit. Oh yeah, by the way, show my clothing brand at SolarStudios.com. Hey yo.